Salute to everyone out there. Did you guys hear about the STD and AIDS epidemic in Atlanta, Georgia? Reports out of the CDC are saying the levels are as high as third world countries. Wow. That's what Atlanta get for engaging in all of that homosexual activity. I hope it gets even worse. Hope it gets even worse. And did you guys hear about the Slave play on Broadway? It is a play on Broadway titled The Slave Play, and they have actresses and actors that are playing in the play eating cantaloupe off the floor. And you have black female actresses twerking for white men, their slave master, during this play. I may do a video on it. However, I will leave the link in the description box. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
So what makes me so special out of all the girls?
First of all, you are incredibly beautiful. That's one thing. But I think that it's something about the look that's in your eyes, it's the chemistry, and your body looks so beautiful. You got an incredible body. In fact, every time, like on Wednesday night, you came and you had on a sort of a black blouse, I think, and
yes,
black stockings and a gray or something skirt. All I could think about was, wow, I sure would like to remove those stockings and that blouse and just look at your body. It's so beautiful. It's just you have an incredible body build. Your waist, your waistline, your hips, your breasts, are just absolutely stunningly beautiful. You could be a model, I know, or an actor. In fact, I used to think about you as, and sometimes when I see you with certain garments on, I think about you being in some Egyptian movie. The other thing, you look very Egyptian as well.
I get that a lot.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. Everyone asks me, "Are you Indian or like Egyptian?"
Yeah, you do. You look that way. You look very Egyptian or from East India. And some things that you wear, and I think it's your clothing as well, which is probably something you may not think about. You just choose clothing based on what you like.
Yeah.
But you have such perfect taste. It's just, when I saw you on Wednesday night, I wanted to just pull up your skirt and just look at your body. I think that would be the treasure of all treasure to be able to do that. Who else has told you that you look very Egyptian? Just people, class?
Everyone in church.
Really?
Yeah. They say I look Indian. I know most of the boys be like, Tamar, I think you're like half Indian, but you're lying to us, but it's okay. I'm just like, I'm not, but if you say I am.
Well, and so I mean that's fascinating, and when I think about what the other thing is that I suppose you'll either know or you'll find out. It's when someone is very special and you believe that the Lord has, or you can call it fate if you want, has provided that person for you. You can't resist them,
Yeah.
You can't. You cannot resist that person that comes into your life, and it isn't always beauty. It's not that. It's just that person does something special to you. It's like It's you know, a lot of people use the term soulmate. I don't use that term. I mean, if someone wants to use it, I wouldn't argue with it.
Yeah, I don't agree with the term soulmate.
But what it does say, and I think what people are trying to say, is that there's some people that are just meant for each other, you know, and I think that's what happened with you as well. When I first saw you at the school, I didn't say a lot to you because I felt that way then. I mean, I did, and the more you came in, the more quiet you were. It even increased that feeling. But it's that. Plus, the other thing is that, I think that you are incredibly introspective and incredibly smart as well, and I like that. I like the fact that you think, and that you're not boring.
I try not to be. I think boring people are lame.
Yeah, you know, there's one thing to be, and a lot of beautiful people, but they're boring. Their minds are like a block of ice, you know?
Yeah.
They make no contributions. They have nothing to say. And the things that they say and think about are just very small.
Or childish.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is the other thing as well. When I hear you talk about cooking and I hear you talking about taking care of your family, you talk more like a 30-year-old woman than you do an 18-year-old girl. Your sense of responsibility. And I was thinking, you know, you hang out with Gabriella. She does not seem nearly as responsible as you, you know.
She doesn't. Well, I mean, she is responsible. She does take really good care of Mariah, and she does cook for Mariah and everything like that. She? Yeah, she does.
Believe it or not, I'm just now finding out about this story 4 or 5 days ago. Kid you not. A brother left the link to this in my comment section. I took a look at it and I said, wow, this happened 3 months ago and I didn't know about it. Now, last time I heard from Pastor Manning was he was calling out black people and black people BS and hip hop music and the hypocrisy of black people. And black people did not like that. He was immediately labeled a Uncle Ruckus and a coon. He was pretty popular on YouTube. He had popular people on YouTube, people with connections who took his advice, took him seriously, wanted to interview him. They spoke about him in a positive way. And I'm not surprised to hear him try to sleep with a underage female. I'm going to leave the link to this whole audio in the description box. She said she has a father. So if she has a father, why haven't Pastor Manning been whooped, beat, knocked out for trying to sleep with that underage girl, telling her her body is hot? He wants to lift her skirt up. Oh, you get with me, you're going to see the world a different way. You're going to have a lot of fun. I'm much older than you. Your eyes, you look Egyptian, you look Indian. And what I never understood was, how can these pastors teach the Bible, learn the Bible, study the Bible, tucked away in their dungeon with a nightlight, a lamp, studying the Bible, and on his free time, banging underage girls, and in some cases, boys? Pastor Eddie Longstroke. And this happens too often. This isn't a once in a while situation or something that hit the news or it just happened. Oh my gosh. No, this happens all the time. You hear stories about this all year, every year. Every year. How people go to school and learn to prey on the weak. It is a sense of power. Not knowing he was being recorded. Being recorded. And YouTube kicked him off of their platform. I don't know how this was done. Maybe people flagged him off, or people notified YouTube, and then they just kicked him off and said, "Hey, we're terminating your channel," which was a great idea. And he did a video and said it was because of racism. Oh, now it's because of racism. No, it's because you were caught on audio trying to get between a minor's legs. These old perverts. And nothing is being done about it. Nothing is being done about these pastors that are laying up with the women, the men, the children of that church and that community. You don't hear any stories about pastors being beat up, pastors being told, "Don't bring your ass back on this pulpit and say another goddamn word to nobody." You don't hear anything about it or like that. That's why they keep doing it. They see that being a pastor gets you money and a lot of power and a lot of ass. And you can manipulate women and children, weak-minded people. Some would be surprised that Dr. Manning was caught because of the things he would say, his image. People thought he was authentic, legit. But to hear him on voice recorder trying to get sex from a minor, telling her she has an incredible body. God, you have an incredible body. I just thought about lifting up your skirt. And there's no story about Pastor Manning getting his lights beat out of him, the living daylights slapped, beat out of him. She said she had a father. Where is her father? Where is her mother? It looks like the only people punished him was YouTube, just kicking him off. I'm pretty sure he's still preaching. And this is what I'm talking about. He's still receiving money, donations. People are still going to his church. He still have a congregation, a choir, deacons. And this is one of the reasons why some of these women grow up the way they grow up. You have these older freaks, perverts, like pastors, like uncles, like grandparents, like neighbors, mailmans, garbage men, the plumber, landlord, perverts, peeping toms. And because no one can put a stop to it, people refuse to put a stop to it. It's going to keep happening. You hear all of this white supremacy talk in Black America, especially online. And you look at the things that Black people do to Black people. And people that are thinking logically, they're saying, hey, you don't have a chance against white supremacy until you fix the BS in Black America. Look at how you have Black pastors prey on the women, mothers, aunts, grandmothers, underage girls, underage daughters, some man's daughter, some woman's daughter, offering her money, a debit card, anything where he can lay up with her. And then get in front of a crowded church on Sunday and tell people what they should and shouldn't be doing. And again, I'm just now finding out about this 5 days ago, 4 days ago. I had no idea. When I seen this video, I thought to myself, what? Pastor Manning? And I said, okay, then that explains why I haven't seen him. I have not seen him on social media. I haven't seen the Doctor of Common Sense. I don't know if you guys remember him, and Judge Joe Brown. So YouTube have taken off a lot of people, but I didn't pay attention to Pastor Manning. And then when I seen this video, I said, that's why they took him off. And they should have. He should be behind bars, but unfortunately, it's still preaching. He is still collecting money. He is still standing on the pulpit being a hypocrite. When he walks out of his church with a pocket full of hundreds to his car, he gets in safely and go home. No one is trying to rob him. No one has touched him. Nothing. Pookie and Ray Ray has yet to pull out a gun on the pastor. Then you have the women who support the pastor. They say, hey, pastor, preach. Keep doing what you're doing. Women sitting in the front row with purple skirts on with no underwear on. Just a bunch of demons. I wonder how much property has Pastor Manning brought up. I'm pretty sure he's one of these pastors who received all of this donations and did not buy up blocks, did not buy up stores, did not buy up community centers to employ his people with all of that money. Oh, we know they didn't buy a politician. Oh, we know that. You had a story last week or a week before last of a pastor flying in 2 ropes carrying his big ass across the stage, his big baby ass across the stage. I mean, these pastors are pulling out all the stops. All the stops. And again, they're getting away with murder. They are able to do whatever to whoever, whenever, however. There's no consequences. These pastors are knocking up women in the church and he's still getting donations. He still has women screaming, preach, pastor. Yes, pastor. Pastor. Yes, pastor. You have these sugar daddies out here. And you have a lot of these sugar daddies that just happen to be pastors, preachers of mega churches and small churches. And what they do is the money you give to them, the people of the church, the congregation, he takes that money and he tricks it off. He gives it to these little young girls who he wants to lay up with and sleep with. And to the parents out here, be very careful on how you dress your young daughters. I often see mothers put their young daughters in leggings and all of these type of stuff that's revealing their skin. And I feel like, listen, don't give these perverts no type of imagination to do what they do. You shouldn't even dress your child like that anyway. But you have way too many predators out here that's looking to prey on the weak. And we have way too many weak out here. Now, this young girl that was recording, listen, I feel like she was messing with him, but still recording him at the same time. It's not like she was trying to out him. He probably didn't do something and then she let the tape out. He has a lot of money. So I'm pretty sure she wanted him to be her sugar daddy. He can pay for her some Jordans, pay for her lunch money at school. Maybe she thought he would let her drive his car. And then when he didn't do something one day, she outed him. Because for her to record him, they had to have previous conversations like this in the past. I ask again, why haven't this young girl's father planted his foot in Mr. Manning's rear end? Why do these pastors, why do these preachers get away with this time and time and time and time and time again? The only people who chastised him was YouTube, just terminating his channel, booting his nasty ass off of YouTube. Oh, you should see the video he made to YouTube. He was pissed. He acted like he wasn't, but he was pissed, and he blamed it on the gay community. He was harsh on the gay community, and he blamed it on racism, and they allowed the alt-right to say whatever they want to say. And no. In this case, you should be booted off. Trying to lay up with an underage girl, you can hear it. You can hear in her voice, and you can listen to how she formulate her sentence that she's underage. Okay, and yeah, she was flirting with you, being a little tease, being a little disgusting little whore, and recorded you in hoping you would do something for her. You didn't do it, so she let it out for the public to listen and critique. This isn't a good look. This isn't a good look for older black men, these baby boomers. This isn't a good look for the Christian church, man. Just church, period. Even these white men, these Catholics, how they're molesting the young boys, how they're slapping babies. There was a viral video of a priest slapping a baby. A baby was crying, and he popped the baby like, shut up, and held on to the baby face. But this religion and these pastors, these priests, man, it's a joke now. It's a joke. It's better for you if you believe in a God or a religion, just practice it yourself. So if something happened, you get to blame yourself. You get to correct yourself. You have too many sheeple letting con artists tell them what to do. Preach to them. Give them advice. These people are con artists. They go to school to con you. They go to school to take advantage of you. They know they'll never get power, so they said, hey, if I become a preacher, I'll get power. I'll have my own church house where I get to screw women, collect money, and talk that bullshit. I'm out. Peace.